Good morning, my friends. How are you today? So, again, I would like to speak to you today from a place of presence, not presentation. In my coaching academy community, we had a very deep discussion about the feeling of the minority. When a person feels that he is from the minority or even the majority, and how destructive or productive this feeling can be. Let me explain a bit more. You see, I could feel a minority because I am different from you physically. I have a different color, I have a disability that you do not have. In the standards of beauty, wherever based depending on where we are living, I am less or more beautiful and so on. And that's one kind of a minority majority thing. I am different than the majority physically. And then there is I'm different mentally, which is basically I adapt different beliefs than you. I adapt different beliefs in the majority, and it could be religious beliefs, it could be political beliefs, it could be whatever beliefs that I have that the majority do not have. So at the end, these are the two different ways that I may feel as a minority. Having this feeling is a double-bladed weapon. It's like it can destroy me with many ways, as an individual and as a community. As a community, traveling the world, you can always find a minority at the community that they are very few of them among the majority, and the usual reaction that they have of trying to defend themselves. The approach that they take, that basically they are my children and I need to save them or protect them from the big bad wolf that is the majority outside. So I start teaching them to fear the big bad wolf. I start teaching them to shield themselves constantly. Be careful, never forget that the big bad wolf is out there. Never forget that the majority is the big bad wolf, because they do not share what we believe in. They do not share our values. And I start feeding my minority, this small community, all this kind of fear-based information, thinking that this way I'm protecting the minority from the majority. And that's one approach. That's one phenomena, let's say. Another approach, when I feel a minority, I start being more curious to understand the majority. I want to learn more about them. I want to explore them. And as I'm exploring them, I start learning how similar we are. And as I'm learning, I start experiencing pain with their ways. I start understanding how do they perceive the world and how similar they are from the way that I perceive the world. And the differences is very trivial in comparison to what we share. From this space, bit by bit, the minority start melting within the majority, and the majority melting within the minority, until there will be neither majority nor a minority. There are people who are communicating with each other, connecting around and sharing their differences and their similarity, understanding that their similarities is much more than their differences, understanding that we have the same human experience, that humanity connects us, that we all fear something, whatever this thing is, but at the end we have the same kind of fears. that we all need to belong. At the end, my friends, the idea of a minority majority is like trying to create borders in the sky. Our sky is being humans. We all belong to the same humanity. We all have values that we are trying to protect and trying to feed. And we all have fears that we are trying to protect ourselves from. This is how we are connected. This is how we are similar. No matter how different my skin is, no matter what am I calling myself, if it is my nationality, or if it's my gender, or if it's my religion, whatever it is that I'm identifying with, in reality, it's but an illusion, a label that I am putting. I'm just trying to describe how different am I from you. Okay, for my friends who are coaches out there and people who are enthusiastic about coaching, in our coaching school, it is very important for every coach, before calling himself that he is a coach who graduated from Kun, my school, that he needs to be able to let go of this minority-majority conditioning. How, as a man, how I will be able to work with a woman as a coach, how I will be able to help her if I'm incapable of letting go my sense of being a majority as a man or a minority as a man, I don't know, based on where I am. As whatever religion I belong to, if I feel this blind belonging to my religion as a Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, whatever it is, how on God's earth I will be able to coach my client through his own doubts and through his own life without having this inner need that I need to save him from being from the minority to the majority, or from being from the majority and call him into the minority because the minority is better, this is where I live, and so on. Minority-majority mentality feed biases. And this is why for a coach to be able to let go of the biases, you need to be able to let go of this sense of belonging to one side or the other. I get it. It is important for us to craft our identity, yet to a certain level. Once we reach a level that we are coaches, holding people's hearts in our hands, we have the responsibility to let go of our attachments, of our unhealthy attachments. The attachments to the minority or the majority mentality that truly make us rigid, inflexible. It makes judgment or lack of judgment a very hard capacity to get. So my friends, I hope that what I'm sharing with you just from a place of presence makes sense to you, and I would love to hear your thoughts about it. The message in a nutshell: nobody but I felt a minority many times in my life. If it's as a man, or if it's as an Egyptian, or if it's as a Muslim who travels the world, or if it's many labels that I could say that I'm a minority from. But then I outgrew this. I outgrew this when I stopped identifying myself as this, and I started identifying myself as the sky, something much bigger, as a human being who is thirsty to connect to his fellow human beings. And that's only the beginning, because after that became as an existing being, as a being who is hungry to connect to every other being, human or not. This makes me very emotional. I hope that what comes from the heart reach the heart. Thank you for following. Have a great day.